In the headlines, Abuja police burst criminal hideout, ban local wrestling arenas. 4 killed in renewed attacks in Plateau State. Fire guts Divisional Police Headquarters in Kano. On the foreign scene, Philippines landslide death toll rises to 68 persons. Hello there. Welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. Now, in a bid to ensure the safety of lives and property across the Federal Capital Territory, the FCT Police Command has implemented a ban on illegal local wrestling houses, commonly known as Gidendambe. Now, Noel Sampson reports on the decision as a security measure to protect the nation's capital.
The FCT Commissioner of Police announced the ban while parading 297 men and 40 women who were apprehended from illegal wrestling arenas. They were found in possession of firearms, phones, drugs, and other dangerous weapons.
I told you that in our pledge to make sure FCT is cleansed and have a peaceful environment, our int has taken us to an area in Zuba where the kidnappers used to come from their camp, both from Niger, Kaduna, they come from Tafa, from Garam Wuse, from Wuse itself, all in Niger, Kaduna. After kidnapping, they will come to Zuba to rest and enjoy. We went there for a raiding, and you will be surprised. We have raided all these people. So we are going to screen them. You can see the items, the motorcycle. We recovered them. We made sure that none escaped. I want to use this medium to warn those people that illegally, because no person gave you any license, to operate, whether you call it Gidandambe or Gidandrama, you better start now, because you cannot remain in FCT. We are going to ensure we are cleansed from here. We are taking all of them to court so that they will face the law.
The commissioner also seized the opportunity to discuss recent events since assuming office as the 31st FCT Commissioner of Police.
I don't need to start counting the success, because why I don't want to count the success is because we are with them. We know what we are doing, what we want to ensure. We have blocked kidnappers' route. We don't care how we block it. It's a success. We have returned a lot of villages back to their communities with the village heads. We have done so. We have equally ensured that there's no further kidnapping in FCT. It's a success to us. All these ones, we will ensure they will not thrive. We have arrested one chance, many of them. They call them one chance, but they are robbers. As at yesterday, in Utako, we arrested almost 5 or 6 of them. So we'll continue.
Additionally, the commander affirmed its dedication to maintaining the safety of FCT residents. Noel Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, at least 3 persons were reportedly killed while 2 others injured during an attack in Nkenza village in Miango district of Rigwe Chiefdom in Basa local government area of Plateau State. The spokesperson of Operation Safe Haven, Captain Oya James, while confirming the incident, says the timely response of the troops in the area made the attackers flee the community. The Publicity Secretary of Irigwe Development Association, Davidson Malison, while narrating the incident on Monday, says that 3 persons were killed on Sunday night while 1 other was killed on Saturday. A little earlier, we spoke to Trust TV's Ado Musa, who gave us an update on the recent developments in the plateau.
The spokesperson of Operation Safe Haven, Captain Oya James, told me this morning that soon after the receipt of the attack, the command has deployed a good number of troops to restore law and order in the affected community. Even though the spokesperson of Irigwe Development Association said that the people of the affected community are still living in fear because they are afraid that a similar attack may be launched. He also confirmed to me that the deceased have been buried since morning. He called on the security agencies to ensure the arrest of the perpetrators of the dastardly act.
Staying with security developments, gunmen on Friday abducted passengers of an 18-seater commercial bus near the boundary between Akunu Akoko in Akoko West, Northwest local government area of Ondo State and Ayere in Ijumu local government area of Kogi State. The kidnappers allegedly kidnapped the driver of the bus and took all the passengers into a nearby bush in the area. Other commuters traveling along the route later arrived at the scene to find the bus abandoned by the roadside. Moments later, some security operatives, including the police and Motekun Corps soldiers, as well as local hunters, arrived at the scene and combed the bushes nearby. The spokesperson of Ondo State Police Command, SP Fumilayo Odulami Omisonya, confirmed the incident in a statement made available to newsmen. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Monday opened its case in the trial of the suspended Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele on procurement fraud, charged in an FCT Federal High Court in Abuja. Now, the anti-graft agency had accused Emefiele of criminal conspiracy, conferring undue advantage and breach of trust, among others, all of which he denied on Friday. Emefiele was previously charged with 6 counts and first arraigned on the 28th of November 2023 before the EFCC filed the amended charges necessitating a rearrangement. He pleaded not guilty to the charge when it was read to him. The EFCC's first witness, Onyeka Ogbu, and a deputy director in the Central Bank of Nigeria branch of operations, which, while led in evidence by EFCC lawyer, says $6.2 million was kept aside for international election observers. He prayed for the matter to be stood down to enable him get more documents. But the former CBN governor's lawyer, Matthew Burka SAN, refused the prayer of the prosecution, saying an adjournment would be better for the prosecution to get all the certified true copies and also for the witness to be cross-examined. Staying with court proceedings, a federal high court sitting in Kano and presided over by Justice Muhammad Nasir Yunusa has refused the application of a Kano-based musician, Abdul Kamal, to stop the Hausa service of the British Broadcasting Corporation, the BBC, from using his soundtrack without his consent. The court says that since it is at the discretion of the court to allow or to stop the media from the use of the soundtrack, it held that the application for interim order lacks merit. The court instead ordered an accelerated hearing of the substantive suit. Abdul Kamal had sued the BBC Hausa service for using his soundtrack in their popular program without his consent. The presiding judge, Justice Muhammad Nasir Yunusa, asked the parties in the case to confirm responses before adjourning the matter to March 20th, 2024. Governors on the platform of the People's Democratic Party are meeting at the Uyo State Government Lodge in Abuja. Although the agenda for the meeting is yet unknown, the governors are likely going to discuss issues relating to security and the forthcoming off-season elections in Edo and Ondo states. Already in attendance are the governors of Oyo, Zamfara, Enugu, Adamawa and Taraba State, as well as deputy governors of Delta, Enugu, Adamawa, Bauchi and Plateau states. Elsewhere, the police command in Kano State says the divisional police office in Nasarawa local government area of the state has been gutted by fire. The state commissioner of police, Usaini Gumel, disclosed this in Kano, saying that the incident occurred in the early hours of Monday. According to the police commissioner, it was reported at around 5 a.m. and the divisional police headquarters was engulfed by fire and a major part of the building has been burned down completely. The police commissioner says investigation is currently underway to unravel the cause of the fire. Tragedy struck on Sunday midnight into Monday morning as a gas explosion caused a fire outbreak in residential makeshift structures covering over 2 acres of land at Star Road by Horizon Heights, Ikate, Elegushi in Lekki area of Lagos State. The incident, which was attributed to negligence on the part of the occupants, destroyed properties worth millions of naira in the process. According to an eyewitness, the unfortunate incident was reported around 11 p.m. and lasted into the early hours of Monday as men of the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service battled to contain the fire alongside other emergency responders who raced to the scene and were able to contain the raging inferno from destroying all the makeshift structures, preventing it from further spreading to adjoining highbrow properties in the area. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Still to come. Commercial activity is set to receive a major boost with the opening of the inland dry port in Katsina. More on this and many other stories up ahead after the break. Welcome back to the news. Let's take another look at the top stories. Abuja police burst criminal hideout, ban local wrestling arena. 4 killed in renewed attacks in Plateau State villages. Now, the Deputy President of the Nigerian Senate, Barrow Jibril, has commended President Bola Tinubu for ordering the release of 102,000 tons of rice, maize, millet, and other grains to address the high cost of food in Nigeria. The federal government had, through the Special Presidential Committee on Emergency Food Intervention headed by the Chief of Staff, Femi Bajabiamila, on Thursday ordered the release of 102,000 tons of grains to Nigerians. Commending the president for the directive, the Deputy President of the Nigerian Senate says the move would go a long way in cushioning the effects of the rising cost of commodities in the country. Jibril, in a statement, urges states and local government areas to emulate the federal government to release grains to the people across the country who are in need. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu will on Wednesday launch the 50,000 Naira Go Cash transfer to 15,000 beneficiaries under the Lagos Market Trader Money Initiative. The Commissioner for Agriculture, Abishola Olusonya, said this at a weekend during a one-day sensitization for traders at the Lagos Fresh Food Agro Hub in Idioro, Mushin. Olusonya called for partnership among food-producing states to address food shortages and insecurity in the country. Now, the inland dry port in Funtua may open a new vista in Katsina State when the facility begins operation later this year. International businesses, importers and exporters of goods and services in the northwestern part of the country will do business with ease, as Abdullahi Amadi reports.
This inland dry port was conceptualized in 2022 by the Nigerian government to help in boosting businesses through import and exports, as well as decongesting the nation's seaports. Buildings of warehouses, access roads, and other structures necessary for the smooth operations of the dry port have been completed, with officials ready to handle clearance and other operations. The dry port, when fully operational, is expected to serve as origin and destination of containers of goods directly from seaports through Lokoja Waterway in Kogi State. One of the officials of the Funtua dry port who preferred not to be mentioned said goods from seaports will be conveyed to Lokoja on barge for onward transportation on trucks and trains to Funtua, where traders will collect their goods after clearance. The official expressed worry over the incessant vandalization of Zaria-Funtua railway line, which is frustrating plans to commence train transportation of cargoes from the nation's seaports to the hinterland. Although the Funtua Inland Dry Port has commenced informal conveyance of freight, the train service is considered pivotal for cost effectiveness and risk management. The official assured that the government is doing all that is necessary to fix the rail line before the commissioning date in the first quarter of 2024 by Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Traders here, who are hopeful that the difficulties they always face in clearing and conveyance of cargoes at the nation's seaports to the hinterland will soon be over, urged government to actualize its plans of commissioning the Funtua Dry Port as soon as possible.
One of the benefits is provision of employment opportunity to our teeming youth who are jobless, improvement of revenue generation. Definitely, revenue generation of the state and the country of life will improve. Then number 3, it will promote the import and export of agricultural products, and so on and so forth.
Funtua is the center of economic prosperity in the northwestern part of Nigeria. What we produce for exports and what we import will significantly boost our entire livelihood. This project will, when completed and commissioned, our local production will be increased. We are appealing for immediate commissioning of this project. Funtua Dry Port will not only rejuvenate the nation's economy, but will also give a boost to government's efforts tailored towards ending insecurity in Nigeria. Abdullahi Izumayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Now, the Taraba State Governor, Agbu Kefas, has approved the distribution of ambulances to each of the 168 wards across the 16 local government areas of the state. The State Commissioner for Health, Bodia Burma, discloses in a meeting with local government council chairman in Jalingo, the state capital. According to the commissioner, the ambulances, when distributed, will improve healthcare services to communities at the grassroots level. Similarly, Governor Kefas said plans were on to upgrade the Dambaba Suntei Airport in Jalingo. He also disclosed that 2 airports in Suntei and Takum will also be upgraded to receive flights. At least 68 people are known to have died after a landslide swept through a gold mining village in the Philippines almost a week ago. Officials say there are still 51 people missing from Tuesday's disaster in Davao de Oro province, but rescue workers admit there is little hope of finding any more survivors. A 3-year-old girl was the last person pulled alive from the mud. Edward Makapili, a disaster agency official at the Davao de Oro province, says at the time it had given hope to the rescuers, but on Monday those hopes appeared to have faded away. The landslide struck Tuesday night, destroying 55 homes and engulfing 3 buses and a minibus waiting to pick up people from the gold mine. Leah Anora, a unit member of the management of the dead and the missing, says the death toll so far included 42 residents and 22 mining employees. Israel says 2 Israeli Argentine hostages have been rescued in a raid in Rafah amid heavy Israeli airstrikes on the southern Gazan city. The Israeli military said the 2 men were in good medical condition. The pair, named as Fernando Simon Maman, age 60, and Luis Har, age 70, are from kibbutz near Yitzhak. Some 1.5 million people are sheltering in Rafah. The Hamas-run health ministry said dozens have been killed in the overnight strikes by Israel. It follows warnings from the international community over Israel's planned offensive in the city. The hostages were found on the 2nd floor of a building in Rafah, according to Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, a spokesman for the Israeli Defense Forces. He says Israeli forces had engaged in heavy exchanges of fire at several locations simultaneously with many terrorists. Now, the Nigerian team had finished second at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations on Monday have departed Ivory Coast and are heading back home. Ivory Coast beat Nigeria Super Eagles 2-1 in the final of the competition, stopping the Nigerian side from getting a fourth continental title on Sunday. Now, the departure of the Super Eagles is coming about 1 month after the team left Lagos for the Ivorian commercial capital. Despite Sunday's defeat, Nigerians have continued to pour in for the three-time African champions. President Bola Tinubu was among the first to hail the team for reaching the final of the competition, lauding their grit and determination to have gone far in the tournament. A statement by spokesperson Ajurin Gilali urged the team not to dampen their mood for the loss. Still talking football. On a tragic note, a footballer has been struck dead by lightning during a match in Indonesia. The football match was a friendly between Flow FC Bandung and FBI Subang at the Siliwangi Stadium in Bandung, West Java. In a video captured, the 34-year-old victim collapsed as he was struck by a lightning bolt. It was gathered that his jersey was torn from the lightning strike. After being struck, other players rushed to carry the victim off the field as he fell to the ground. Local media reported that the victim was still breathing as he was taken to the hospital for treatment, but was soon declared dead. According to witnesses, the weather was cloudy and the rain had started to fall before the incident. Tributes have flowed on Monday for Kenyan running sensation Kelvin Kiptum after the marathon world record holder was killed in a car crash at the age of 24 in his home country. The favorite for the Paris 2024 Summer Olympics was driving from Kaptagat to Eldoret in western Kenya on Sunday when his car rolled over. The police commander for Elgeyo Marakwet County said Kaptum and his Rwandan coach Jave Hakizimana were killed while a woman who was a passenger was injured in the incident. Well, that does it. You're up to date with the latest news stories at this hour. Thank you most kindly for joining us. As always, follow us across our social media platforms for more news updates. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for watching.